morning from Lincoln, New Hampshire. It's unfortunately that time. It's time to start packing up and getting ready to go home. It was a fun trip, a little chilly. That's to be expected, I guess, the first week of November. But let's see. Dropped down to 22 degrees overnight. So 1 degree warmer than yesterday. Woohoo! Still, it was below freezing in the van when I woke up this morning. I got the heat on now, and it's up around the upper 50s in there now, so that's pretty good. Let me show you something, though. This is all frost. In the propane stove, which I ended up not needing, because I managed to cook everything inside the van this time, so the butane stove works just fine. Everything's pretty iced over here. Water in this jug is like a solid block. This one here I didn't even need, so I didn't need 14 gallons. That's got a lot of ice in it too now. Let's see what the water in here looks like. Well, still got water in it. A nice layer of ice. This has warmed up several times, so we'll dump all that out. The other jugs we'll just bring home and empty them out after they defrost some. So that's about it here. I decided I'm not going to make breakfast or coffee here this morning. I'm just going to let McDonald's do that. They're right down the road from here anyway. Just a few miles, so not a big deal. So we'll just get everything packed up, head on out, and we'll get home pretty early. So sadly, the last adventure, well, not the last adventure, but the last camping trip of the season, because it's just getting too cold. I realize this van's going to have to be built out quite a bit before I can really do this cold weather camping. Waking up to below freezing temperatures in the van. Hold on, let me switch hands, my hand's getting cold. Waking up to below freezing temperatures in the van is just not fun. And the way the position where I've got the space heater right now, I have to get up out of bed and run across the other side of the van to turn it on. So it's a freezing cold walk too, so so we're just gonna have to start planning some other stuff here. We're just not equipped yet, so we're gonna move on to other adventures though. A couple of weeks we'll be heading back up to Moosehead Lake again, back to that motel. Gotta do some tweaks to their Wi-Fi and things like that, fix a couple little issues. After that, we get into the winter months here, which means snowmobiling. Gotta pull that snowmobile out and get that running again. And finish setting my trailer up. I never did finish that last year. And then the van build itself. It's going to be another big winter project for me. Getting it all set up for next year. And the van's probably going to be the one pulling the snowmobile too, because it's a much better towing vehicle than my Mountaineer is. So it'll get used for that too. Anyway, let's get packed up here and get on the road. So that's it. We're all packed up. Oops. Everything's all cleaned up here. We're getting ready to head home now. It's 10 a.m. so we're getting a good early start today. Should be home by 1. That'll be good. I'm going to miss the camping. I hate this being the last trip of the season. But we'll get the van built up a lot better and we'll be able to take a lot bigger trips next year. So this part of the travel with the van is more just a trial run to see what works and what doesn't. Now we got to start the build out. So it's been a lot of fun. So anyway, let's get on the road here and hit McDonald's and have breakfast. So that pretty much wraps up my last camping trip for the season. Always a sad time when that happens. I did have one more adventure after this one. I went up to Moosehead Lake, back up to Leisure Life Resort, to deal with a few little issues with their Wi-Fi system. No, it wasn't a very exciting trip. It was just, like I said, it was 2 nights. 1 full day up there. The other 2 days were basically driving days. So I didn't have a lot of time. As I found out, it's not really all that exciting in November up at Moosehead Lake. At least not for me. Everything was closed. The weather wasn't all that good. There's no leaves in the trees, no snow on the ground. It was generally pretty boring. But I did try to shoot some video up there, but just not enough to make enough of even for one full interesting video. But I got a few highlights here I'll show you now. And then we'll come back here and talk about some updates coming up for the new year. Bit on the foggy side over Moosehead Lake this time. Pretty dense fog. Kind of chilly too. Chilly, cold, and raw feeling. Well, I was going to come up and visit Lily Bay State Park, but even that's closed. I can't win. Oh well. So let's turn around and head back to the motel. And of course he stops just to get the camera out here, but he was just barking at the wolf blanket in the side of my van here. Can't even really see it through the reflection, but he was just barking at that. There he is. You're a dumb dog. I love you. Yeah, no visit to Leisure Life Resort is complete unless I get visited by Echo. He is one silly dog, but he's very friendly. But he loves to bark at wolf blankets. Alright. We're heading out. Yes, this van's very noisy. Not much I can do about that right now, but that'll change. I'll quiet it down as I go along here. This road's very bumpy too. Anyway, we're checked out, we're heading out. Down to downtown Greenville there. We're going to find myself some coffee and maybe something to eat. And then we start the long journey home. Been a fun trip up here. It's only 2 days, kind of a short trip, but I also realized November's not a time I really enjoy being up here. Everything's closed. No leaves on the tree, there's no snow on the ground yet. It's cold, rainy. So this will be my one and only time up here in November. I will be back here in a few months there. I'm planning on coming back up the first week of March. This time with my snowmobile in tow if possible. And we should have some fun. Anyway, we'll check in a little bit here. I'm almost down to the main road here. Alright, so Wolf Van Jack and I are up in Athens, Maine now. Well, down in Athens, Maine. We're working our way south. Up at a cute little rest area here, just off of Route 150. Nice quiet spot to visit. A few little spots to park and have a picnic. Somebody seems to have left their kerosene heater here. Not sure what that's all about. That's there, but I don't know if somebody forgot it, if they've abandoned it. But whatever. Nice river coming through here. Not sure what river this is, but I'll look it up when I get home. Some nice little rapids. And other than the occasional car driving by, it's a nice place to visit. It does have a porta pot here. Well, not a porta pot, but an outhouse type thing here. And unfortunately, it's not very well maintained. But does in a pinch anyway. And you got some nice little babbling streams here. Or babbling river, anyway. I'm babbling, that's what it is. Oh boy. Yeah, we gotta work our way home, unfortunately. I'd love to get one more night out here. So that's it. That was my last trip of the season. That took place around, somewhere I think around November 18th. So right now, as of this moment, it is December 29th. So we're catching up to real time here. So I'll go over a few updates of what's coming up here for the channel here. So we're done with trips for the season, unfortunately. for at least for 2021. Let's put it that way. I do have a trip planned coming up around January 21st. So I'm heading out towards Western Mass. I'm staying out in a cabin out in the woods for a few days, so that'll be good. But outside of that, we're caught up on the trip videos, so we're going to be doing some more local stuff here. We got some videos there coming up for some van building. We're going to start taking the floor apart and the interior of the part of Wolf Van Jack and getting that all set up. And then we also got some work to do on the snowmobile. We're going to get that up and running. We got some snowmobile adventures coming up, I hope, if it ever snows. And I'm probably going to get back into some of those local hikes that we've did last year. A lot of cool places to explore there, just a day trip only type of thing. Get up there, do some hiking, head back home again. So I'll probably do a few of those again this year too, this winter. So that's my plans for the upcoming year. Hopefully we'll be able to get the work done on the van that I absolutely need to do between January and March. Because there's basically the plan is to get all the interior out, work on the rust issues inside, basically on the floor, and then put a new floor down on there, new plywood floor with insulation. The rest of it can wait while I'm using it, but that's the rust issues on the floor have to be dealt with while I'm not using the van. So hopefully, despite the cold weather and everything I'm going to be fighting with, I'll be able to get that stuff done. So hopefully then we'll be able to get back out on camping adventures starting in April. In the meantime, it's going to be, like I said, snowmobile adventures, that sort of stuff. With that, looks like we're wrapped up for the season, so next video will be released in the new year. I'm actually going to try, I'm hoping to get out for a first day hike. It'll be a first of the local hike series. I'll get out on January 1st, but the weather forecast isn't sounding too promising for January 1st, so we'll see what happens there. But hopefully we'll get out with a first day hike. So I hope everybody has a great new year. And remember, slow down and enjoy life, and we'll talk to you all again in 2022.